Bought a whole bunch of new clothes right here on June 25th, and cars were coming at me in multiple different directions. In this video, I say they typically see after shopping sprees and get nice things. I have built up a lot of nice clothes and had a lot of, I had perfume, eyeshadow, eyeliner. I built up a lot of items. And I expressed in this video, I typically get robbed or violated or put out when things like that sort happen. Sure enough, I get back to the shelter. They're putting me out. They stated that someone stated I recorded while I was gone. I've been put out gone multiple different times. That was their con. They told me to go to Salvation Army. It was impossible. I called and couldn't get in Salvation Army. And I was in a domestic violence crisis that involved the government, so I didn't think it was the safest to go to Salvation Army. I went to the police department. They put me out there. Then when they realized what they were doing, they told me to go to Salvation Army. They had Salvation Army lie and say that you have to be there. I can't remember if it's 4 days, 5 days, and then there's a cooling off period, 14 days. I was the only one leaving. That's what the police department had Salvation Army didn't do. Lie and set up a fake protocol for me that excludes me from services everyone else can get, knowing that you never believe the story. So then there was all kind of vehicles coming all at me, even diesel stopped in the middle of the road on camera footage. I called for hours to get nowhere all over the country. I was being denied shelter in my crisis. After that cooling off period, I went back to Salvation Army and police came with me, arrived, and then they scammed that I had a criminal trespass and was banned because I recorded the police showing up with me to enlist the location to deprive me of shelter, knowing you'd never believe it. Then I'm trying to report the crime to the police and a supervisor to get nowhere. So I got robbed of all my new items. The man, I could not use the zip zone. There's entrapment, and I'll go into detail about that. They strategize the avenues to cause conflict in my life, knowing you'd never believe it. So I got robbed. This guy, I couldn't catch the zip zone. Then someone asked me if I want to ride. I couldn't use the zip zone in corruption. So I said yes. I was trapped. I was given a criminal trespass and warded off property at Salvation Army and didn't in corruption. The police arrived there with me to entice the shelter staff to deprive me of shelter, like that email said. They really do it, knowing you never believe it. So I'm an emotional wreck. Someone asked me if I want to ride. I said yes. He has a truck. He puts my bag in the back, and immediately it's bizarre. Asked me if I want sex. I said no. He asked me how much. I said I'm not interested in anything like that. I'm just trying to go to Our Daily Bread, a Christian organization. He starts an argument. I realize that he's crooked and has been enlisted, so I try to be quiet. Then he says, I'm not giving you a ride. You need to get out. And I said, why would you give me a ride? He asked to offer a ride if you didn't want to give me one. He said, well, I can take you some real far, way farther than this, where you have no clue where you're at. And then you have you walk from there. With no bus, no nothing. How would you like that? So I realized I can't talk because he could do it. He could kill you. Everyone's covering for me being violated. Why not do it? So then I have to be quiet. So then I get out the car, really not knowing where I'm at. He's telling me where to walk to get to the location. Then I put one foot out. I had knee replacement, so I had to use the seat to step, to be able to lift myself out of the vehicle. And he immediately sped off with my backpack and everything I had. Only thing was the clothes I had on my back. And the good thing about it, I kept my ID and all of that in my bra because I kept getting pickpocketed. All my phones, I had like 2 tablets, several phones. I had gift cards for Uber, all the new clothes, everything that I had accumulated, all gone. So I'm a mess. I go to Walmart getting terrorized, people coming at me from all different directions. Since I'm robbed, I don't have anything. I go back to PNS. I got robbed and they needed my ID for a blanket last night. And when she's saying my ID's missing.
It was in the bag.
It was in the bag? Yeah. It was missing until I started recording. Immediately, when I record, they find things. You came up with this too, remember?
But, yeah.
Hold on. And they needed my ID. I told her I got robbed. For a blanket last night. And when she's saying my ID's missing.
It was in the bag.
It was in the bag?
Yeah.
Okay, and my perfume came up with this too, remember?
But, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay.
So if you're recording, you're not going to be able to say anything.
Well, they don't want me recording the crimes. But repeatedly, crimes are being committed. But everyone's ignoring all the criminal activity and abuse to tell me I can't report them year after year. But you get tired of being violated location scheme is to violate you. And all they want to know is, are you recording the crimes year after year? Completely heartless. I repeatedly told you I got robbed. This came up missing. My perfume came up missing.
It didn't come up missing. It was misplaced. There's a difference.
Well, I don't understand why things keep repeatedly getting misplaced.
My prescription glasses, 3 or 4 pairs of sunglasses.
Because people don't show up, that's why it changes. Because when they come
No,
in,
ma'am, I'm targeted. I tried to tell CNS, but they won't give me case management. Well, they're not giving me case management. They're lying about the clothes.
I'm robbed and wouldn't give me clothes.
It's not you being targeted.
But they're lying about the clothes, though. And I only have the clothes on my bag.
Well, I'm sorry that your things got stolen, but this is Lancaster, and there's a lot of thieves and stuff everywhere, ma'am.
No, I got robbed, deliberately robbed. I'm
sorry
about the clothes.
Did you file a 911
I'm just not quite sure why the shelter would lie about clothes and I only have clothes on my bag.
Because there is clothes.
Okay, how do you get them?
I can go upstairs and get some, but we have a shortage of them, so I don't know if it's your size.
But you also have the what is it called? What is it called?
It's a clothing closet, something like that.
So
I never
whenever
saw
you come in, you ask Claudia for a voucher.
Okay, because before someone else gave me a voucher, and now changed telling Claudia.
No, I didn't say not only.
They gave me a voucher I couldn't use.
That's not what I said.
They had an emergency and it was weird and I never got the clothes.
Somebody else told me only Claudia did it.
No, because you're overnighter.
Okay, so there's that shows a conspiracy ID again and other items.
Used to be a resident.
So then I had my prescription glasses come up missing. I had shower products, towels, all kind of different things come up missing. Eye drops. I have allergies and my eyes get irritated and itch. That came up missing. Headphones. Someone damaged a new coat. All kind of petty things. So I need to get out of that environment. The shelter's robbing me. I had just got robbed. So I went to the police department and asked them if they can help me find a safe environment. And then these games that you can see that. Then the shelter let someone pull a knife on me and then demanded that I not record it. And then eventually, that's my plea for help after I got robbed. The shelter tried to steal clothes from me and then they got caught. Security tried to steal. I just got robbed. I didn't have anything. I got one outfit from someone outside.
You're just giving one?
A church.
No, there's other people with two. You say that you were getting one.
So they strategized. They had these ice cream cones. And then, not ice cream cones, slushes. I forgot what they're called. With the ice, and then you put the syrup on it. I can't think of what it's called now. That served as a distraction. So multiple different people leave their items off in True Worth, which is right across the street at the sister organization for PNS Shelter, all the time.
My bags that were there. You took them into the back? Why? There's people with bags in there. People have bags in places all day. I just get held up, ma'am. It's unbelievable.
So she's lying and said that she moved the bag. She's a gang stalker. They've left the front desk in Malice.
I gave it to someone in the back for some reason. I can't get through. Can I get through? Thank you. They took my bag to the back and then now everybody disappeared and people leave bags and seats all day. Why would they target me and move my bag?
Oh, you have a nice bag.
No, it was just a Target bag. But they normally steal it. I just got new clothes in it.
Just one outfit. It wasn't even like that nice.
I get held up. They scheme at the shelter. Schemes and hope. She just said that she gave it to you.
She gave me anything. She lied. There was a way for her to get away with it.
So they're blaming it on somebody else, but staff did it. And staff does it at multiple different environments. So they're telling off on security.
People leave bags and seats all day long. But repeatedly, when I get something, it's stolen as quick as I can get it. She just said that no one gave her anything.
See, not everybody's dishonest.
Just security steals from me.
So they try to enlist everybody to be accomplices and not talk and not snitch.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me.
She harasses me at the shelter. Where's security at? I'm telling them.
You left it unattended?
They leave bags unattended all day here. I've been here multiple different times, but yeah, can I have it back?
Yeah, you have to go ask him. I don't know where he put it.
You don't know where he put it?
She's back again,
And
getting
I'm
in the
trying
way.
to get a bed, and they scheme to keep me from beds. Where's the security with the...
Yeah, go to the back.
She said she was trying to get people to tell me that you're not here. She was trying to keep me from it.
He said he didn't know what about the
Where's
bag.
he at? He's outside? She said... Sir, with the gold boots, they said you moved my Target bag?
Target?
Yeah. Yeah, the Target bag. Can I have it back?
Go to the back.
She said she was trying to get people to tell me that you're not here. She was trying to keep me from it. I've already tried. They won't give it to me.
What color is it?
The Target bag, they said you got it.
I don't know. This is that blue thing in the back.
They said you got it. You don't know where you put it?
The blue thing in the back.
Can you please get it? Because they're not giving it to me, and they scheme at PNS to keep me from beds. But security has stolen from me before, so I appreciate it. I just got new clothes, and I can't keep them.
They were used clothes. They weren't new.
Next secure PNS schemes to keep me from beds. Can I have it now? I'm fighting for my life.
Yeah.
And people leave bags all over the place all the time. They won't give it to me. I've already tried. And she was trying to tell people. Huh?
Where's your bag at?
They saying you got it.
Where was it at?
In a seat.
Trying to get somebody else
They can't get it. And I told you I was fighting for my life. So go through the metal detectors and all that again.
They like me to be inconvenienced.
She got caught.
They would have successfully robbed me, blonde. I don't think you understand.
How do I get it?
I'm recording them.
Come on.
He could have just brought it, but he wants me to go to the metal detectors, all this nightmare again.
Yeah, people have new policies.
Somebody else had claimed it.
Oh, okay.
So his con is somebody else has claimed it. If somebody else claimed it, how do you have it? Distract, deflect. I could understand if it was designer clothes. This is used clothes nobody wanted it. They just didn't want me to have it. All I had was the clothes on my back, and they're so petty. They didn't even want me having an exchange of clothes. And this is how I had to live. Shelter staff repeatedly. These directors of these places don't give a damn. Heartless. How does someone, the government, enlist someone to be a thief that has a degree and then said that they would try to protect people or social workers? How does the government entice you to do this? They do it. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person. I have definitely made a lot of mistakes. But what I'm saying is if you have integrity, if you're a church member, if you're over organization and you have went to school, or even if you haven't went to school and you had an oath to protect, serve, and do certain things, why would you let someone entice you into committing crimes? So then they got caught. Then they put me off. They banned me, suspended me for recording their theft and other crimes.
Because if you are repeatedly scheming to keep me from a bed, that's a felony charge.
She already defrauded me of $125. She was at Millwood Hospital while I was getting terrorized. She lied and said she was volunteering there. I think she was sitting at the torture campaign.
$125 for the rent I paid. I want, because conspiring to violate someone's right is a felony charge.
I said, what are you doing at the hospital?
I wanted to know how long I've been suspended, and you said that I can't report to security that that person pulled a knife on me. But you put people out.
Look, our policy, our insurance policy only covers what happens on our...
I was in line to get a bed, and you guys don't want me recorded, and repeatedly I get put out with my abusers. How long was the suspension for?
I have no idea. I don't have any...
Well, if someone is enlisting... Are you or the one that walked off when I told you someone was threatening me? Why don't you guys do anything regarding that? So you're infuriated that I wanted to know why you walked off when I told you someone was threatening me.
That individual...
That's misconduct.
This is how the government enforces abuse. Call us.
Go ahead and
It
put
will
the call
happen.
on PD.
Call PD to enforce
To have
crimes.
her removed.
Just over year after year.
PD.
Disabling my
Call
card,
PD.
nothing done.
We'll enforce the abuse and crimes.
You are suspended, ma'am.
Right, but you won't tell me how long.
I don't know how long. I don't have.
Well, I know my abuser doesn't have the right to do this year after year with no consequences.
I don't have clothes.
I don't have
Rob,
any
but they canceled my
referrals,
card out in
everywhere I go,
malice.
scheming to keep me from a bed when he's mad, and there's nothing I
Yes,
can
and my
do.
one just
Trying to
canceled
be
my
out
card.
funds.
If you want to talk to the police, we will call
I'm asking you how long the suspension is.
Okay, you will find out when you go to reconsideration.
So the reason why I think it's pertinent information that she was at Millwood, because at these locations I repeatedly see familiar faces. And I think that the government is dropping off staff to enforce these mind games and petty things. Like there's someone in these environments, okay, now she's gone, take her ID, nobody will believe it. So now this is what I'm trying to prove, the conspiracy. So I go to JPS trying to speak with the social worker. I'm ruined. I don't have my ID. I don't have my the SMI1 canceled my card. I got robbed. I literally, it was stressing. So I went to JPS. The police department says that they'll help me to interrupt the conversation I had with the social worker, said that they'd help.
You can't do that. I guess I have to admit myself because you guys haven't had any accountability.
So I tried to flee abuse. She wouldn't let me help flee abuse. So then
there's nowhere I can
I said
go
I tried to
because
admit myself in the hospital.
all these crimes
And
repeatedly
she's
keep going
getting the
unaddressed.
police because I want to admit myself in the hospital since I'm being denied a safe
Can't go to the
environment.
police department, can't go to hospitals. Choices, sir. No, if
So he
CPS
interrupted
covers
me.
for child abuse and won't do an investigation on criminal activity from government officials to keep me away from my child, and I can't make food purchases and use transit, that's not having rights. And then fleeing for your life year after year, you get met with condescending requests of going to mental hospitals and crisis centers for mental illness, and homeless shelters, food pantries.
So I told him about the abuse,
Trying to
that I got
control me right
robbed and
now,
all
or
that.
threaten
So he's
me.
trying to set me up. So I said, okay, I have no other place to go.
And no. The pattern of repeatedly getting numbers and get an actual advocate, but the advocates are mainly around me are being honest and keeping me in my abuse and depriving me of services.
Who's abusing you?
A lot of the advocates aren't being honest about what they do, like a lot of the shelters. So that's why I just wanted to get permission on if you would let me stay somewhere, because I do not have rights in this country. Like I said, you're mistaken. And my YouTube channel is evidence of that. If you can't, it's Kiana, Keyana, Clark, Clark, Peace, Peace. If you get criminal trespasses in grocery stores to keep you from purchasing food, and CPS covers for child abuse, and courts deprive you of your constitutional right to go to court,
No.
and you can't safely use transit or anyone else when I'm around, that's not, and then people dislabeling your card on a whim, and then keep you from having your own cash and in bank accounts.
There's a couple questions I have to ask Leslie real quick. Do you want to hurt yourself?
No.
No.
You have to ask that.
Do you want to hurt others?
No.
Okay. How about this diversion center? Would you like to try it?
I don't have any rights.
I can drive you down there.
Okay, whatever.
Does that sound like a place to
I don't have a place to go, sir. I don't have rights in this country.
You do have rights.
I do not. If you look at my YouTube channel, you would see definitely I don't have rights.
Hey, real quick.
If someone is allowed to pull a knife on you and a gun on camera footage and nothing's repeatedly done, that's not having rights. If you haven't got in law enforcement in 7 years
But with your
for child abuse, interference with child custody.
So he's taking me. I told him about the abuse. He's taking me.
So give me a second. Let me go. I got to get a piece of paper. I got to get my car keys. So make that.
So I want you to see what it is.
So Ferris and Adams, standing over here.
Was I standing over here? This is my job.
So they told me that I was being
so
booked,
you
and it was a
want to
jail
know what
diversion
the
program,
paperwork?
and I had an option of staying there or either going to jail for trying to flee abuse. I don't see the video. So this is the one that hassled me and then said he was giving me a criminal trespass
Because
from the jail because I wanted my release papers when I was arrested at CPS. When they released me, they wouldn't give me my release papers or anything, any documentation. And I said, I need my papers. And he came and I told them I also wanted a safe environment and I was trying to find a place on my phone. He came and removed me and threatened my arrest for wanting my release papers. I never went to court, so I don't know what was happening. So I was being guarded, whatever was happening. They wanted to make sure nobody gave me assistance. Police had stationed a desk there. And they do this at multiple different locations. They just guard me on camera footage and nothing's repeated. They guard my doors. So I was going to just catch a Greyhound after that happened. They wanted me to be in Malice. They released me the very next day. I couldn't upload these. So this happened on the 8th. They said that, but they realized they didn't want me to have shelter. So they released me the very next day. That location was supposed to find me a safe environment. They didn't. Police were there guarding it, enforcing the situation. And they rushed me out. Some things I didn't even make. The way they rushed me out, I was leaving clothes. And then I said, I don't have everything. And it was deliberate to make me lose things. So I just said that I got to pick up and leave. So I went to Greyhound and I was looking at my phone and I was just going to go find a location. I was going to just up and catch a bus real far away. I didn't care if it was Oklahoma or where I was going. I just tried to find a strategy to just leave this environment, period. Just leave, perhaps leave Texas altogether. Then they saw it on my phone illegally and then did this. He grabbed my bag.
So, where do you want me to go? What's funny, ma'am? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. He left with my items, but it's not abuse. There's a police car. He left with my bags.
Then he has backup coming to make sure I don't flee.
Unplugged my phone and said, let's go.
My phone was charging, so I could start fleeing.
Again in a rush. I have things right here, food that they gave me, sack lunches.
I lost the ring.
Subways being guarded.
In case I wanted food.
You're not putting anybody else out.
Come on, let's go. We're back in that car right now.
I just don't understand why no one else is getting put out and why I keep getting my arrest threatened for trying to get services. There's people that you're not putting out. You drop my...
They don't want your business.
They don't want your business.
Go to the train and walk off the street.
Why would they not want my business to flee abuse? For trying to get services again? How many arrests? I've already had 21 for trying to get services. Okay, so I can't go to Greyhound and flee, period? You're denying me of the right to use Greyhound again?
They did it
so
in
you
Dallas.
Want me trapped in the locations that my abuser has controlled?
He threatened my
But
arrest.
they're just keeping me from fleeing year after year in schemes.
So their con was you have to have a destination to be in Greyhound. That was their con. Okay? He gave me a certain amount of time to find a destination. Nobody else was being questioned. They don't care. This is the entrapment. So they said that I had to have a destination, and since I did have a bus pass, that should have allotted me the ability to be in there, but they didn't care. They were scamming, knowing you wouldn't believe it. And she was guarding the subway, knowing that I hadn't ate in case I wanted to go in there and get something to eat. I've had to endure this years. They're prepared and ready for every avenue to cause conflict, knowing you never believe it. So then he gave me a time frame, came early, unplugged my phone so I couldn't strategize anything to combat his behavior. And then his con is that I didn't have a destination, so therefore he was giving me a criminal trespass, knowing that I was trying to flee. That was his alibi to not get charges. So they know that I try to flee and go hospitalize myself when they railroaded me, and then they don't let me be on benches. So now they blacklisted me from all medical treatment and mental health treatment and corruption. Then Garland Police, I called them asking for help, and this is what they did.
I can't see it.
I fled to Garland.
J.B. Moeller?
I was leaving Fort Worth.
I'm fleeing a domestic violence
I slept
crisis.
outside.
Tell you over the phone?
No,
and then call the police because I couldn't flee the abuse.
Oh, okay. Yes, I'm trying to flee abuse, and I haven't been able to for a long time. I get stalked every day. I told her that someone pulled a knife on me recently. Someone pulled a gun on me. Someone threatened to tase me. I got threatened through it multiple different times a day, like someone set it up, robbed, pickpocketed repeatedly, and glitches repeatedly with my phone. I don't know why she's still on the line if she hears you. Is this the lady? Are you still on the line?
So somebody was interrupting. Backup came to help him.
I'm talking to the police. What was that? Okay, so I don't really get anywhere doing it your way.
Would you like me to get you some numbers that you can call?
I'm not getting anything resolved.
I asked him
And
for a safe
my car's been
environment.
canceled.
I slept outside.
I don't want the numbers. I want the feds. Because just canceling someone's card, keeping them from their funds year after year, and then sending your bullies to cover for crimes, and enforce that I keep speaking with scammers, and then send them out to bully me and intimidate me with police. Can you take me there?
I'm about to leave. Is there anything else that I can help you?
You have to. Well, how do I get charges? How do I get a protection order?
Protective order?
Yes.
You would have to go to the Garland Police Department and talk to or whoever, whatever.
Psychological abuse place to place year after. I'm trying to get your license plate number. Consequences
So they come rescue him from being incriminated.
year after year. Well, if I just keep saying words trying to flee abuse.
Making sense.
I'm not making sense. Did you think it made sense to assault a woman and arrest her for attending the domestic violence courtroom
In Garland.
and deprive her of her right to go to court? Did
And
that
that's
make
Garland
sense?
Police.
Well, we're gonna get out of here, and we're gonna let you get on your way.
You look familiar.
Yeah, I did a report for you in front desk.
They never called me regarding it.
I don't know what to do.
I think it's time that you guys got your consequences and your felonies.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Because just they're keeping me in jeopardy year after year with no consequences. So I can't report the abuser again. I can't report my hacked device.
I had
can't
already
report
slept
being robbed.
outside. I mean,
You don't think anyone on this planet has integrity? Period. You think that to bribe solves everything and nothing is going to ever happen to these felonies? Ever.
Then they start hacking my device. I go to Richardson, try to flee to Richardson. It didn't work in Garland, Dallas, Denton, Fort Worth. So then I try to flee to Richardson. I can't use my phone. I'm in there hours and can't even use it. So I call the police. I look up something, the data would get shut off, pop-ups will come up when I'm dialing numbers. Pop-ups don't come up when you're dialing numbers. And then the police officer's covering for it, saying that it's my app. I'm dialing I'm not using the app to dial numbers. I'm using it directly with my provider. I have no clue what he's talking about, nor him. So then, they were trying to enlist Starbucks to give me a criminal trespass until I started recording. So I tried to get mental health treatment. My abuser don't want me to have things, so listen to what they're telling me.
Crisis, I can't
Knowing you
sleep,
wouldn't believe it.
period. And I'm tired, and I want to hurt myself because I just can't get out of it.
Where did this occur?
It happens all over. My devices are repeatedly
The hospital
broken
steal
into,
from me, knowing you
all
wouldn't
kinds of
believe
other
it.
things done, and nothing's repeatedly done about
So
it. And I
to
just
not
don't
have
know
to steal
what's
from
wrong.
me, listen to what she says.
Who is doing the violence?
Over and over again, abusing power to steal from someone, over and scheme that they repeatedly have nothing. Do you think that the FBI would care that people repeatedly abuse power and do that? And then come repeatedly over and over again, relentlessly torment, oppress someone daily, over and over and over again, heartless torment.
I don't think that that's anything to do. That has.
I'm just saying, if that were to occur, as I'm saying, do you think that the FBI would be bothered by that?
I wouldn't know. You have to contact.
You're police and you don't know if the FBI would be bothered by people abusing their power to torment someone repeatedly over and over again for profit and thefts
That's federal
and cover
police.
up.
We're local police, and we're here.
You're supposed to know if you're committing crimes with your position. If you don't know if you're committing a crime actively, then you can't properly have your position.
She's telling
If you
me
don't
that
know
if
if you're
there's
actively committing a crime,
Help you with your service.
I'm just I want to know if you think that the FBI would be disturbed at people repeatedly abusing their power to oppress someone for profit relentlessly and play mind games,
Contact them.
and then to steal from them and cover for everything that they're reporting. So I'm asking you if the FBI would be concerned about.
she's
people
saying that if
repeatedly
she took me to the
abusing power to do
hospital,
that.
I had to
Or
leave
badges
everything.
and guns.
Do you
I
want
couldn't
us
take
to
it.
help you?
You don't want to talk about people that repeatedly rack up felonies for themselves, tampering with evidence, and scheming to keep someone from having anything.
You called us.
I'm just asking
You felt
if,
suicidal, but we're
right,
not
but I'm
gonna
asking
call
you as a police officer, because you should know what will put you in jail.
that. Okay.
If police repeatedly abuse their power, and scheme relentlessly and are heartless. I'm just asking in general if police choose to do that.
We're not going to go off.
I don't know what it is on topic because if police are doing that repeatedly over and over to me, I want to know what their charges are and the consequences for repeatedly doing that over and over.
Yeah.
So the FBI governs police officers that can't get themselves under control. So if they repeatedly do that over and over, who holds them accountable? Is that the FBI? And I'm asking, what consequences is it for police that repeatedly want to do
She
that
says
over
that I
and
have to
over?
leave everything.
And
I
you
could
don't
just
want
only
me
go
to
with
know
the
that,
clothes
and
on
you
my
don't
back.
know yourself that what could possibly put you in jail? Well, she's not saying that she knows that. She's saying that she don't know. And I think that's imperative as being a police officer to know if you're actively committing a crime. That way you can be safe. If you don't know if you're committing a crime, then you can repeatedly commit them over and over. If you don't claim that you don't know you're committing one.
You go to every police department and record every interaction and give the same story over and over again, and you post it on YouTube. But the thing is, you don't want to.
But you haven't addressed the threats, the robberies, how I'm repeatedly locked out of my car, the hacked devices, which is criminal for you to do that.
You hadn't brought that up the entire time.
He left. You said that you knew about me speaking to the officers early. You said I uploaded to YouTube. Why haven't you looked at it? Why are you punishing me for being violated on it? But you're disregarding the fact that police repeatedly reckon up felonies and who governs police that cannot be put themselves under control to an extreme to where it endangers others when bus drivers are repeatedly driving reckless when I'm on the bus. And there's evidence of that. There's evidence of that because the police took a report of someone slamming her foot on the brakes while she saw my bus pass and then immediately went to the garage while I was riding it. I have it recorded. So if bus drivers are taking bribes to drive reckless and endangering people on the buses and on the streets, and then another one at TRE almost hit a car playing games trying to abruptly stop in front of vehicles, but she couldn't stop. I almost didn't stop and almost hit a car. So that endangers other people, these mind games that repeatedly are ignored. That's pretty serious if someone is able to enlist bus drivers to repeatedly drive reckless, endanger other civilians, people being put out, 10 communities violated, food taken from everyone when I'm present.
They shut down the churches.
But that's all on the YouTube channel, but you're saying that I'm talking around in circles.
When I move into an environment, churches come and they give food to people. Well, the government shuts it down. And they want to control the food and start issuing out peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and that food that I really don't eat. So that's what they shut down, the healthier food and the full course meals. And then they demand that they're serving Lay's chips and peanut butter. It also happened in Austin. It happens at multiple different
telling
locations.
me I need to leave all my property and I've had multiple different thefts. This time I don't have to have a theft because your con is I can't take anything with me.
Okay. If that's a con to you, then that's a con to you. But the thing is, I'm telling you straight facts, that hospital will not allow you to have this much property there. Okay?
But I did ask you about having
all I had was one bag.
Misconduct and criminals,
and
felonies
a sweet
ranking up.
bag. I
and
had
I
just
said
got
if the
robbed.
FBI has integrity, someone has integrity, and they keep on racking up these charges, what would be the consequences?
But we're not here to talk about that.
We are, because that's a big problem of my life that police keep on.
So they wanted to scam since I had just got robbed. They wanted to take that too. And then that's another strategy. You can't take the suitcase and that sleeping bag. The only thing that you can take was the clothes on your back. She also said that I couldn't take my backpack. If people pack clothes all the time and go to the hospital, it didn't make sense. They didn't want to take me to the hospital. So right here, a police officer was caught trailing the dark bus. And then he had an alibi. So I went to Dallas Behavioral trying to get mental health treatment. They denied it. So by this time, I go back to PNS Shelter to get my items. And then they try to steal my mail.
Immediately when I crossed the street, this is what I was stockings needed for.
So when I cross the street, cars, they park, and then you yield to pedestrians.
From nowhere. There's the police department right there, setting it up.
So I wait till it's clear, but they park and hurry up and come out at me on purpose, knowing you never believe it.
Because they know I'm going to distraught, and I went through all this trying to get my mail.
So she
it's
left.
Just a form of taunting.
So she talked to him and immediately left. They do it all the time.
And scheming.
They do this in stores.
She left it us.
You keep coming here.
I have mail here.
You suspended from all properties, man.
I have mail here.
2 debit cards.
That's a felony charge, the scheme to keep me from my property. Why would I be suspended?
Record me, please.
Why would I be suspended for you guys trying to steal my property?
Can you go back to
Because you're committing a crime. Why are you scheming to keep me from my mail? That's a felony charge. And theft is also criminal. You're committing an act of crime. That's why I'm recording you. Why would someone CT me from Ogg's property and then deprive me of my mail?
I do not want you to post that, so I'm going to charge you.
You're committing a crime right now. I can record active crimes. Why would I be CT for you guys trying to steal?
So understand, SMI one card, cancel my card out of malice to keep me. It's all prearranged and knowing that you never believe it. They canceled my card out of malice. Then PNS Shelter put me out in the scheme. All the living hell that you've seen in addition to that. So I realized that I was not safe with SMI one card. I needed to get away from them. So I got a bank account. When I had a big money order that I was about to send to my daughter, I had to cash it in because PNS had put me out and I had no funds. So I cashed the money order in and got another account, and I'm closing out my SMI one card, but I have a lot of funds on the SMI one card. The government's illegally monitoring me, and each time I get saved up funds, year after year, they have locations put me out and hotels, and they scam to wipe out my savings account. They've been getting away with it for years. They know I'm a saver. This is how you force someone like me into homelessness. So I have the bank card coming in. I only have a limited amount of funds on me, and I have a bank card coming, and I have the SMI one card with a large amount of funds on it. And they're trying to scam to keep me from those funds, and I have other critical mail coming. And then they've already withheld the mail from Health and Human Services, Crime Victims Compensation. They sent it back in malice, and they sent back mail. I had issues with the mails from Social Security Administration. They kept saying I was mentally ill, so I applied for benefits and never have had a response to that, period. And in addition to that, the tax return. If information issues with that, trying to get the stimulus, I keep going to tax preparers, and repeatedly I'm ignored. That's about $10,000 in tax returns and the stimulus checks that I've never received. So nobody will investigate all the other stolen mail.
Why would you choose to CT me and punish me for a theft you guys are committing? Why would you try to punish me for reporting harassment? You're in multiple different places year after year. These are crimes. That's a felony to withhold my mail. I want my mail, sir. That's a felony to withhold my mail. I want my mail. That's a felony to withhold my mail. That's criminal.
Go outside.
I want my mail. That's a felony to withhold my mail.
Intimidation to enforce crimes.
You still have my mail. You have no right to keep me from my mail. That's a felony, and you guys did it before I was suspended. I don't need people to be dropped off and to interrupt me exposing felonies and
I'm being heckled.
I want my mail. That's a felony to keep me from it. Right, then they're setting it up. That's what I'm trying to expose. Why would anyone keep me from getting my mail? That's a felony. Why would you guys punish me for you guys trying to steal my clothes? Why isn't anyone addressing that someone tried to steal my property and then punishing me for reporting it?
Let someone pull a knife on me, threaten me.
I want my mail. I want my mail. He deprived me of getting my mail. That's a felony.
You have to take your phone off.
I want my mail.
You have to take your phone off the property.
I need my mail. They deprived me of my mail. That's a felony charge.
Take your phone off.
Marquez, I want my mail. There's a police. I want to report multiple different locations scheming to keep me from my mail. That's a felony.
They got backed into a corner.
No, they're open. I want my mail. That's a felony. I want my mail. That's a felony to keep me from my mail.
See that? I get that. Yeah, take that.
I want my mail. Okay, I'm recording because they deprived me of my mail. That's a felony, and they've done it before.
They want me not to record,
steal my property.
So there's no evidence of their crimes. But I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I'm glad the police came too, and I hope the feds can interrupt all these people stationed in my environment to bully me and mistreat me and enforce crimes. Why would you condone them stealing from me and then depriving me of my mail, which is a felony? You have to be enlisted to set up and to do this in location to location. No one would, in the common sense, would approve of a whole true worth staff trying to steal my property and keep me from mail. Just drop them off, be ready. When she wants to be treated like a human being, punish her, an army full of people. But they've gotten away with it.
Over here and you're recording on property.
Because I'm recording crimes.
You're not allowed to
I'm not.
record on property. It says it right there.
Oh, but I'm not being heard. You guys let people threaten me and pull knives on me.
If you come to me
I
in a
did.
decent manner,
I did.
I don't mind looking up and trying to help you.
No one would.
Like
that's why I recorded, because no one would help me when all this kept reoccurring.
Recording is just going to get you suspended. And we don't. Have
Well, why? What do I do when staff steals from me? With no accountability, as well as an army full of other people.
Well, when staff is stealing from you,
Yes, that's why. Why aren't we
step by step? Miranda,
why didn't we address that?
Go to Miranda.
Miranda stole from me too by allowing me to pay a whole month's rent. I'm not being heard. Miranda stole from me by allowing me to pay a whole month's rent. I had just paid, then put me out in the scheme for missing one appointment in the policy 3.
You have to go to Betty, and if Betty doesn't address it, you go to Toby.
Okay, well, the police is trying to hide Marquez. I thought he would investigate all these schemes instead of letting security take the fall for their crimes. Police used to do this up front.
Suspended for being on the property recording.
But I'm recording crimes.
On the how do you figure that?
Okay. If someone is setting up for you to get threatened, but you walked off when I told you I was getting threatened. And then you bullied me and mistreated me.
You're not allowed to record on the property.
So what are you going to do, Marquez? These places are scheming to keep me from services. True Worth already stole from me property and got caught. And then let people pull through.
As far as I understand, she's CTW.
She's CTW, so she's criminally.
Oh, I thought the police department was behind it. What's your badge?
You need to go off the property.
What's your badge number?
3655.
And your name's Marquez?
They gave me my mail.
I think that you guys are behind it and you're letting these people take the fall for your crimes. I have 21
property, okay?
Yeah, let's see what mail this is. Let me see, make sure I have my mail. Because they've already racked up felonies and wouldn't give me my mail.
It happens at all locations targeted.
We had to do all this for me to get my mail.
If I wouldn't have recorded it, they wouldn't have given it to me. And I was in a bind.
And then therefore cover for it.
2 debit cards put out, banned everywhere I went. Hotels, hospitals. So going to Millwood Hospital. 2 outfits to my name. And headphones. That's all I got.
Right here. They tried to steal my phone. I said call the police and damage my brand new charger.
I had just bought those before I got to Millwood.
I just bought them. I did an upload on the headphones. Behind the headphones. Damaged it. Then with my clothes, they put a crayon in with my clothes to wear on my clothes.
I only had 2 outfits.
Get my shirt. I don't know if you could see it. It's all over my clothes.
Hospitals.
This
Repeated
just a small, short video. I'm still waiting on an Uber to go to Salvation Army. I told him
Yes, may I have your name? What municipal court did I call?
This is the Mount Pleasant Municipal Court.
Okay, I sent some items to a judge to get time served on some tickets, and I got it said that I was granted time served by Adolfo Martinez.
What's your name, ma'am? It's here or closed.
Okay, well, I'm being set up right now. Someone stole my ID purposely. And then there's entrapment to get charges on me and to railroad my life repeatedly over and over. So for some reason, they're saying that they still see it DPS. And since I've had so many places scamming, can you please take care of this? Because there's so many parties that repeatedly scheme to take my freedom using entrapment tactics, knowing that people wouldn't believe it. So I'm not quite certain on what to do because DPS says that they still show these tickets, and Adolfo says that I got credit for time served, but I've had glitches and went to jail repeatedly over and over for tickets that I had decades back. So I don't know why I would be repeatedly arrested. I trusted the government, which I shouldn't have, and they just pretended like it was repeatedly glitches. And I'm trying to interrupt those repeated glitches that take my freedom. Now they just scam full-blown false arrests. No, that wasn't attended to. So
when your tickets were closed, they just, for some reason, didn't go through to DPS. So I'm manually closing them now.
Okay, thank you. What was your name again?
My name is Austin.
Okay.
In that system now, you may have to wait a day or so just for it to update through through DPS here for you to get your license, or you can pull it up like on the failure to appear website, and it'll show that they're closed, and you can always show that to the DPS office as well.
Okay, what website? I'm not quite certain of what you're speaking of.
It's the TexasFailureToAppear.com.
Okay, and it should be, the clearance should be on there. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am. You just put in your license number and your date of birth, and it should pull up your closed cases.
Okay. Okay, so as of today, you're saying that it may take 1 or 2 days for it to show up on the site.
In like DPS's system, it usually takes about a day or so for it to update.
Okay. This is just a strategy that they're using to take my freedom. I guess this new environment don't want to take my freedom for profit this time. Maybe it's too incriminating, so they just had someone steal my license and decide they're trying to strategize for entrapment. So let me call and see if the other location that gave me a ticket for reporting my daughter's abuse, what's going on with that. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Dallas Court. My name is Shirley. How may I help you?
Yes, I put in a request to get time served, and I wanted to know what the status of that was.
Let me check our system. Let's see. Let me check our site, court.dallascityhall.com. You said you put it, when did you submit the time served?
I can't remember. I'm sorry, ma'am. Probably like a month ago.
Okay, because it does take 3 to 4 weeks for them to make a decision. Normally they'll do the response by mail, but let me see if I can see anything. Do you have your citation number?
No, can I give you my name?
Let's see.
I'm sorry, what was your name?
Shirley.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see, Miss Clark, and that's for the city of Dallas, because she said Keyann.
Keyanna.
Oh, A-N-A. Is that for the Ballin 911? I know emergency assistance?
Yeah, they didn't think me reporting my daughter's abuse was an emergency that the police department kept covering for.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yes, ma'am. So that one hasn't went just yet. It's still showing as 694.80, and it's still showing as a warrant. So yeah, it hasn't went all the way through yet.
Okay, so how long do I need to wait?
Normally it only takes the court 3 to 4 weeks, and normally, if you did the request, and then they should respond back to you, they either send it to the address listed on your.
Okay, so I'm not quite certain on if I'm asking how much longer it would be. I don't know when you show that you got it. And if you don't have answers, I've experienced this years. I call locations and they're scamming that it's impossible to get feedback. And it's been a twilight zone I've been trapped in. So if I can't get feedback from you, how would I know how much longer to wait? If you're refusing to give me any details.
Yes, ma'am. So if you can't get feedback from us, because we're their call center, so we're not on site with them, we can just see once they, either close it or whatever they're going to do. We can just see it once they clear it. So you will have to go in person at 24th Main Street so you get the feedback from them to see if they received it and what's going on with it. They should have the answers to that. We just give you information about the citation.
Oh, so the whole infrastructure has changed, and now you have to take your care of business in person? That's the only option, because I'm not local to that area anymore. So the only option is to get this done in person? That's my only option?
Yes, ma'am, until they updated your other tickets, like it says docket closed or time served. That's what we can see. So that's how we know they received it. But yeah, to get other information, it has to come directly from the court.
Is it hidden on when you received it?
No, ma'am, we just don't see that because we just see the citation itself. We don't see where they mailed you anything or anything, so we can't see that part.
Huh. Yeah, ever since I've been targeted, it's like words are carefully articulated to leave me in problems. And then it's carefully articulated to where they're enforcing nothing is accomplished. Is there any kind of other avenue in which someone can tell me? Because it's kind of fruitless to send someone documentation and they're refusing to tell you the update of the documentation.
Yeah, so that is the way we can do reporting to get them to call you. If you're not able to go to the court, so they can reach out to you, and that'll take 2 to 5 business days to do that.
Yeah, that's an option that wasn't disclosed. Is there an online avenue to look up and see if they ever close out the warrant? Because I particularly would actually like to see charges for someone that to be that crooked to give someone a ticket for reporting their child's abuse. That's personally what I'd like to see, but repeatedly over and over, I'm not seeing it. That's actually what I would love to see. But each location I'm at don't seem to be disturbed by someone abusing their power to be sadistic enough to give someone a ticket for reporting their child's abuse and then terrorizing them at court. I think that's part of the issue. First, we need to find people that are disturbed by repeated behavior of this sort, and it just can't be found. As long as we can't find anyone that has a problem with it, I really don't see an end to this pandemic, as I guess you can say.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I'll definitely let them know to reach out to you so they can give you some answers. Ms. Clark, let's get a good callback number for you.
Okay, and is there a website? I was told that there's a possibility of a website too. I forgot that address. Do you no longer have that website information at this?
No, ma'am, no. So their website, the court's website? Yes, ma'am. That's courts dot DallasCityHall.com.
What's the relevancy of that website?
Yeah, so that's open. You know, you can go there all the time and look these citations up and see the status of it, see if it's been time closed. You know, you can go there for that.
So it actually, you can go on the website and you don't have to appear in person. Is that correct?
No. So if you need more additional information, yes, ma'am, you would. But for the information that you need, it'd be directly from the courts, like if they received your letter or, you know, if it's going through the channel of doing time served. Because on the website, you can see, we can see the same thing. It's going to say, like, if your ticket has been closed or if your ticket is, you know, have been time served. That's all we can see on our end. We're their call center. We're not on site with them. So if you need more information, that's
so
not
calling
on
the municipal
website.
court is hidden. The municipal court is hidden. Calling the municipal court, you really can't get a hold of them. It's really irrelevant. So you're calling a call center that can only see but can't do anything. So then you're
Yes,
forced to
ma'am.
go in person because the municipal court only has a call center to get nothing accomplished. Is that correct?
No, we're here to give you information about your citation. That's what we're here for. So yes, ma'am.
Okay, but the information on seeing the status of warrants and if they did anything regarding documentation, you don't have that information. And the only avenue that you have, calling the municipal court, is going in person. Would that be correct?
Yes, ma'am. Because you need more information. Yes, ma'am. You will have to go in person because if we can't provide it, yes, ma'am, they will have to provide
If you
it.
can't provide it, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not quite certain on why the municipal court hotline would hide if there's a warrant and if they disposed of tickets that were derived in corruption.
No, ma'am, because the warrant, you can see if you have a warrant online.
Well, I called to
Because
check
the
and see if I had a warrant a long time ago when I was trying to turn myself in on these same bogus charges. They told me I couldn't because it was something, whatever scammer I was speaking with.
Ma'am.
Yeah, I think I still have it recorded. They told me that I could not turn myself in. It wasn't a warrant because I knew that I was blacklisted from our shelter. They didn't want me having shelter, so they said I couldn't turn myself in on those tickets. They weren't tickets, and it wasn't a warrant. So now they've strategized to try to scheme to take my freedom now and hold something against me, and now it's a warrant again. And then just people repeatedly strategize to take my freedom over and over, and I just simply haven't been able to interrupt it. So nonetheless, I'm not quite certain on what to do because each time something's strategized and set up, people withhold information off from me to not be incriminated. So are you saying that I need to wait a hidden amount of time and then check and see if they'll dismiss these bogus tickets?
Yes, ma'am, because it takes 3 or 4 weeks for us to see if they dismissed it. But I'm doing a report for you to get the courts to call you. You're going to speak directly to the courts, and they can give you updates on them. And, they can answer all those questions as well.
Okay, well, that would be good.
Can you get a good callback number for
I'd like you to text it to me.
Okay, I'll get a text right over to you. I'm submitting it now for you. Is there anything else I can do to help or assist with today?
That'll be it. So when you said I should expect the call in how many days?
2 business days, no more than 5 business days. You should hear from the courts no later than the 30th of this month.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for calling Cedar Dallas Court. You have a great day.
You too. So I've realized the entrapment strategies, knowing that you wouldn't believe it, that they steal my ID and then they put cases on me or tickets and then want me to go in there to try to get my ID and then they'll have them arrest me. Then that'll be a strategy, an avenue to get me out the environment I'm in, the safety of being able to hide out from being terrorized and violated. The government don't like for me to be able to escape or flee the overwhelming torment that I have to endure. So they need me to be in these controlled environments. That way people can threaten me, scare me out of my sleep. It can be an emotional roller coaster living hell. That's how they like me to live. So I know from the pattern of behavior that I've experienced, they are definitely strategizing on how they can get me out of the safety of this environment. It's just only a matter of time. No one has interrupted. So since, no one has interrupted, I believe that they're scamming. And had someone steal my ID, want me to go down there and try to work on my license in other avenues and then get arrested. So I have to wait for this to clear. I can't get an ID either. I have other things in the making that I have to show ID for. I can't get a job or anything like that because when I go down and get the ID, they'll take me to jail. That's the point of stealing it.